Hello, I hope you're all well. Today I'm going to do just live. I haven't looked at these two charts before, but I'm going to do Jay-Z and Beyonce because, they've had quite a strange relationship. It's been very intensely in and intensely arguments. There's been like he's had a child with somebody else and they're united, they're not together, that kind of thing. And she's very, very secretive. So I thought let's have a look and see what their charts can reveal. And I have to tell you, I'm doing this live. As I said, I haven't prepared any notes, so it's going to be very much like impromptu, if you like. But it's sometimes quite good, so we can just show you how I sort of would do a synastry. Let's share their charts. Okay, so here we have. So Jay-Z is actually, I'm going to start making notes here, so I don't have to keep referring back and forth, to what you call like. So I have got some notes. So he's Aquarius ascendant. And he has Rahu on the ascendant, so and Purva Bhadrapada. So there's quite a lot of. He is very different to what we think. He's and so when people have planets in Aquarius and Scorpio, they have. There are things that they're dealing with, karmic things that they have to be dealing with. And look at that, he's got 3 planets in Scorpio. So, and he has the recent eclipse, solar eclipse of the 4th of December 2021 has occurred just on his 10th house of his, not just his career, but how people see him in the world. So I got a feeling we're going to learn a lot more about Jay-Z going forward in the next 6 months to a year. More and more things will come out about him that we realize actually, obviously Venus is there, so it's to do with his relationship, marriage, generally women, how he is with women, and how he is also with children, because this Venus rules his 5th house. Sorry, not Venus. Mercury rules his 5th house, 8th house. All the things to do, very, very hidden stuff about him, they will come into effect as well. And secrets to do with children, generally speaking. And also 7th house, how he deals with his partner, business partners, things like that, and also how he's at home, his private side. We're going to be finding out much more about that kind of thing. And look, Neptune is there. I don't normally use those outer planets, but when Neptune is there, there is things about his career, his actual hidden side that are going to be very, very elusive. He's not what he portrays himself to be. So that's him. And so I'm just going to start. So he has an exchange between Saturn. So Saturn and Mars. So his 12th house. So he has got the ruler of his 3rd house of speech, friends, thinking process, everything like that is an exchange with his 12th lord, which is like all his secrets and how he is like secret enemies and things like that. So those kind of things, there's a lot of secrets to do with that as well going on, because remember 12th house is secrets, secret enemies, that kind of thing. And so yeah, a lot of things. So he has got planets in his 12th house. He's got moon in his 12th house, in his 8th house, and also he's got Mars in his 12th house. So there's quite a lot of secretive things going on about him as well. And so let's have a look. So he's got Saturn in Aries. He's got Moon in Virgo. Jupiter in Libra. And then he has Venus, Sun, and Mercury in Scorpio, and then Mars in Capricorn. Mars in Capricorn, look at that, and it's at the highest degree as well of exaltation. Unbelievable. Right, let's have a look at how that corresponds with Beyonce. So her she's an Aries ascendant. So immediately you see that what happens is his ruler of his ascendant, which is Saturn, is debilitated on her ascendant, because he has got his ascendant debilitated in the third house for him, but on her first, so there could be you could see that the marriage, although it's like a what they call a sextile relationship between their ascendant, but because his ascendant ruler is debilitated on her ascendant, so you can see that she feels limitations and lack because of him. He holds her back, things like that. So you can see that. And from his ascendant ruler, Saturn, is in Aries, but hers is in Virgo there. So what does that tell you about, they're kind of like the way they deal with everyday things, and just the foundation of their being. They're not in alignment with each other. So he is much more, because Saturn in Aries will be much more, Aries is much more self-focused. She's much more like, she will be, and because of that, the way that happens, it makes her quite argumentative with him. So, but their Venuses, her Venus is in Virgo, his is on in Scorpio. So that's quite nice. There's like a bit of like playfulness about them. So there is definitely that chemistry thing going on between the two. So I would say their Venuses are good. Then we got Mercury as well. Mercury is good too. Mercury, her Mercury is obviously in very strong position. But again, his Mercury is in Scorpio, hers is in, so that's pretty good. And that works really well. So they can be like, they might argue and really exchange extremely bad words together, because his is obviously in Scorpio. But all in all, she can be very sort of like, she could be digging him out quite a lot, like quite critical, and he could be cursing quite a lot, but they can actually make up. So that's pretty good. So I would say Mercury and Venus between the two, strong. Saturn not at all. And then Moon. So his moon was in Virgo. Her moon is in Scorpio. So again, really sort of like there's agitations with both of their moons. His is very critical, really sort of picking at little things and pondering over little things. Hers is emotionally difficult, but generally speaking, between them, because it's a 3-11, it's good. And also really good because his moon is actually following hers. So it's, his moon is there in Virgo and hers there. So it's always good when the man's one is actually chasing the woman's. So that kind of gives longevity to the relationship. So that would be, so Moon, I would definitely say Moon, Mercury and Venus, they sort of like the enjoyment planets between the two are quite good. So her Jupiter is in Virgo and his was in Libra. That's not very good. I just think that there is lack of wisdom between the thing, and they don't really, his both of theirs actually, their Jupiter, which is planet of wisdom, awakening and spiritual, or really sort of like spiritual religion, all of that kind of stuff, both of them is quite disturbed, because his is in Libra, so it's much more about money. His focus is completely, and even though Jupiter for him is in the 9th house, but it's in Libra, it's an unfriendly sign. And yeah, so his is not very good, and neither is hers. So hers is also, the Jupiter is, you know, is in Mercury sign, and they're not friendly with each other as well. So there's like lack of the vision, sort of like to move, you know, it is more about like money, you know, money and material stuff really. So that would probably not be. Their Marses are opposite each other, which is really good. And so that gives, you know, his is in Capricorn, hers is debilitated in Mars, in Cancer. So as a result, they're both very much like you know, what you might call, they're both very sort of, they got that attraction between each other. So that's really nice too. Sun, her sun is in Leo and his in Scorpio. So yeah, that's kind of like, there's always going to be like an issue with ego, like I am right, you're wrong on both sides. So they kind of can rub each other the wrong way. So I would say the ascendance is good, but obviously his Saturn is on there. And we just like superficially looked at all of the planets. Their nodes don't match at all. They are 12 and 2 from each other, so they're not matching at all. But his what you can say is definitely his sun is also sitting on her moon. So that's a very, very strong, because if you look there, his sun is there, and her moon. So that's quite a strong relationship between the two. So they can kind of like, even if they have separation and arguments and things, they can actually bring things together. His Jupiter, her Jupiter, sorry, is sitting on his moon. So that's kind of gives Jupiter, her Jupiter gives the moon, his moon, that kind of like togetherness as such. So that works pretty well between the two. I'm just going to show you the compatibility thing that shows between these two. So here we are. So this is Beyonce in the middle there. And this is him. So you can just see what's going on between the two. And so you can see that literally, if you have a look, you know, so his Mars is on her K2. So that could be like they could, obviously, Mars is actually siblings, or it could be in a previous life they were just like enemies to each other and they're back together again this lifetime to sort this things out. Or it could be a sibling thing as well, you know, because we don't always return as the same kind of person thing going on. So you can see that with what's going on. And also his K2 is on her sun as well. So again, you know, there could be this kind of relationship thing going on. So yeah, I'll probably say that there are kind of things that brings them together. But you can see there's going to be fiery, because, you know, when the Sun and K2, two fiery planets on top of each other, there could be issues there. And also the same as Mars and K2 there. So you can see that is it one hell of a fiery relationships thing going on. So I would definitely say that is the case. I also always look at people's dashas as well. So you can see that for Beyonce, so she's kind of Venus, Saturn, Venus, and he's on K2 Jupiter. So K2 and Saturn are kind of friendly with each other. So the actual relationship between the two dashas, they're not too bad. I always look at that and see what's going on. So I think that even if they had like issues earlier on, they probably kind of have got used to where they are in life with each other, and they kind of try and work things together. So I guess, yeah, I mean, what relationship is perfect, really? This is what we've got to ask ourselves. So yeah, but you can see that they can wind each other up, and they can make up, because the moons are strong, you know, because I think if he does things wrong, she can't let it go. So she's just like going to be the force between, like, oh, you did this back in blah blah, yeah. So she, you know, she's good. She grounds him. So she brings him down to earth, because she's also got a lot of planets in Virgo. So she's just literally gonna dig him out for the smallest little thing. You go, girl. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching.